is up, guys? Commander Rico here with another video. So today we have Rico's review, season 3, episode 1. Now this was the Kickstarter season 1, and I can't wait to do a review the whole way through, and I'm really excited. So we start with Cody talking to the doctor named Schlieffen. He has like a bit of an accent. He's weird. He's an interesting character. Hold on. Sorry, I had to burp. He asked him about how Rex's operation went and how he did it. He was like, "Oh, we used radiation to change all time." Blah, blah, blah. I don't think the doctor actually. I think a good thing Daly could have clarified is I don't think the doctor realized that he didn't have an inhibitor chip. So maybe Delta. That's actually a good plotline. Maybe he didn't have an inhibitor chip and Delta does. So yeah. And then Rex is asked by Cody how he was feeling, and Rex is like, "I'm good. I feel like myself." He was basically lying. And then Cody is excited to fight with him again. And that was kind of like a thing because it's like, Cody like loves him as a brother. It's just they have two different opinions in like science. And I'm really glad that this brain thing at least won't be used on other clones like Rex, hopefully. And then Rex's brain hurt, but he's in pain. And then he says he thinks he needs to contact Rico, which then we flash to Rico. And is a ghost of Sarge again, which turns out is just his imagination. And he has been having dreams of some sort with like Sarge. And I'll get to that in a second. And then the humor was kind of funny. He's like, "How do you know this if I know this?" And it was just funny. And then Rico has a personality with a crazy side to it, which I find very interesting and a very good storytelling device almost. Because sometimes the smartest leaders have the craziest things. I've read up on it a little bit. It's very smart, which Daly did, and I know he studies history and stuff. So maybe it has to do with it. Maybe it's just something leading up to something. Then Racket works in Rico, and he decided if he had any luck with Rex, and he's like, no. And he says, like, Delta is most likely where Rex is, so that's probably a hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Right, and basically all the clones, like a few clones, start hearing about Rico's crazy talk. And then when he's like, "We can't keep this a secret forever," and Rico's like, "It's under control, Racket." And I think this is an interesting plot line. Because it's Rico's Brigade Civil War, and we know it's not Rex. It may be Delta. But maybe it's Racket. Maybe that red clone could be Racket. Maybe he starts losing faith in Rico and other leaders. And a good chunk of the clones might lose faith in him after they hear that Rico's a crazy person. And then flashes to Mason as Padawan, which I still... But whatever. No, it's okay. It's fine. Mace alludes to a presence he feels as well as his Padawan. I have an idea of what the presence is. I'm not 100% sure. Mace says he is Butcher flying them to meet a friend who I assume is Obi-Wan or maybe Yoda, which I'll get to in a second. Then 55 and Rico meet, which I could have sworn they met, but I don't think they actually did. Because we just flashed it. It was an episode where we were introduced to the Dutchman. And also 55 was right next to Rex. I remember that. The rebels want to take Felucia, and Rico disagrees with the strategy, but he goes with it to keep on good terms, which I think is a great dynamic, which, again, I'll get to in my commentary on certain parts. 55 has a new command staff, including Glasden, Meteor, and Mulder. I was looking recently at Daly's description for some reason. Apparently one of the patrons is Mulder, so... that means he gave him $50, which I wish I could do that. But Meteor, Mulder, and Glasden, they're nice new characters. I'm hoping one of them survives, like maybe Meteor. Like maybe that would be cool, and Glasden survives. Glasden and 55 are the only survivors. But I hope one of them is alive. Like, that would be cool. Because I remember at the beginning of Rico's raid, he said, "Oh, some of them might be injured." Which... I don't like it how the only one who always survives is the leader. Like, maybe if a few of the wounded people survived, because, yeah. Like when Flashpoint was the only one to live in that battle on season 2, but I know it was kind of just a improv to cover dailies, but because everyone was in flak for the commander droids. But yeah, So overall, I give this episode a 9.1 out of 10. The reason I don't give it a 10 is because I feel like there was like a few things that we just missed. Like, we learned Lieutenant Whipper's a lieutenant, and hopefully maybe Eugene's in there. Love Eugene. Eugene's great. But yeah. So now I'll get into my points. So first, let me just go down the list. Boop, boop, boop. Rico has a new personality. I'm gonna get to that last. Here. So Mace says he is Blitzer flying them to a friend who. Here. Mace says he is Blitzer flying them to meet a friend who I assume is Obi-Wan or maybe Yoda. I'm gonna assume it's not Yoda because Yoda's not in the mod. So we could clear that out of the way right there. But Obi-Wan probably, but if they're gonna fight Vader, which I'm assuming that's who they're going for. Because you'd think he's like, you took my hand, I'll take your head, mother. Wait, Samuel Jackson impression, mother. Clocker, mother shucker. I'm sorry if anyone heard that. It's mother shuckers. Don't say that to your parents. They feel a faint presence, which is different from like if you look at the Rebels approach where they just feel cold, like Kanan and Ezra. I just thought that was interesting. So maybe we'll be seeing some Vader-Mace conflict. I think it would be cool if we had Mace kick the bucket to Vader from Vader, and then his Padawan, backbone of Rico's brigade, like Rico, and basically he could he'd be Rico's new best friend if Racket leaves or whatever, and they'd share a lot in common. Maybe the Padawan could explain why he's having these visions. Maybe it's because of his sleep. But I think the interesting thing would be is, God forbid if we have to kill Rico off, this guy can replace him, like, as the main character, which I think would be cool. And 55 got promoted to commander, which outranks Rex now. But, I think it was going to find captain, because I think Rico's, he might as well be a general at this point. We'll just call General Rico, but that doesn't sound cool, so I'm not going to name my channel that. Oh, and also, forgot to cover this. There are new skins. We're going to see it in a second. I'll just point it out. And I'll pause it and tell you what I think. But the new skins, I'm okay with them. They're pretty cool. Here. So we have, basically, instead of, we have a Bakara type helmet with, here. I'll try to find a better shot of it. Here. Just let this play for a second. Here. So we have the Bakara type helmet with that gray stuff. We have the same old teal. We have the little bandolier pack, ammo or something on his shoulder, like a Chewbacca type thing. That's cool. He has a gray skirt thing. That's okay. And you'll notice in his crotchal area, there's that thing. No, that's not what I meant. Some of you guys are gonna interpret that wrong. And then he has the thing on his arm. I think it's cool. I don't love Rackets as much, though. His looks a lot more boxy. They're the exact same. I don't know. I hope Flak at least. I wish Flak would look the same. I think that would be cool. Maybe not. So my other points. 55 got promoted to commander, which outranks Rex. That's okay. It's whatever. So I think here's the second most thing. So when the rebels want to go take Felucia, I'll play that. And Rico disagrees with the strategy, but goes along with it because he keeps in good terms, especially with the outcome of the battle and how he only ended up with 55 in Glasden and maybe a few survivors. I don't know, but that might be a pretty interesting thing. Maybe that's the Civil War, rebels versus Rico's brigade, because of ideal. I think it would be better if they joined with the rebels, because I don't know. That could be an interesting concept, because it could be some fighting within the rebels. So here's the thing I like the most that I got out of this. So Rico has a personality with a crazy side to it, and it's an interesting dynamic because we've seen a lot of Rico, and he seems just like this Captain Rex, not Captain Rex, Fives. He seems exactly like Fives, except, and it's starting to show. It's because I love Fives. He's my favorite clone from the Clone Wars, and it's really starting to show. Which I don't think if Daly did intentionally, But, I mean, Fives went crazy. Like, towards the end, he was kind of going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if you know what I'm saying. He said, get away from me, like, that part. And I think that's going to be the driving thing. Rico with his different personality. And also, how long have they had this new armor? Are we just going to ignore it? Is it like a new armor, or is it just like a thing that's always been there, but we're just going to ignore that? Yeah, like one of those types of things. Because I'd like to see like a cool backstory behind that, but we don't need the backstory for everything. But I'm really interested to see how the Sarge thing goes. I mean, I find it kind of odd. I thought it was just going to be like a Force Ghost alluding to Rico being some sort of Jedi thing. Because he sensed that Palpatine did this thing, and he has such a compassion for the Jedi. You almost think like, he's a Force sensitive. Oh, by the way, here's Mulder and what's his name? Mulder and Meteor and Glasden, who we saw in season 2. But I really am excited to see where this crazy Rico goes. I mean, I'll always be the same, but I think that's a really interesting, neat idea that I never thought we'd see explored. Because Rico, as much as I love Rico's read, I love it for like the idea and the story. He kind of felt like a cookie cutter character. I mean, not that much, but he's a noble leader and everything. There's nothing too defining about him, I guess. Maybe because it's the mod and you can't really... There's only so many limits. But, like, if we can have Racket be, like, a villain, I mean, definitely not a direction I would take, but I think that would be cool. Maybe Racket's the villain. I don't know. Cody, I have a good feeling that he's going to be this underlying kind of dude who doesn't show up that often. He's not going to be that prominent this season, I can tell. I just feel it. Dutchman, I think that would be interesting. Because maybe a part of Mace's mission, since Vader took a liking I'm just have the diary of mouth. So what if, since Dutchman worked with like Vader a lot, I guess Vader likes Dutchman, not in the weird sense. But since he took a liking to Dutchman, and the Mace is maybe going to fight Dutchman, they felt a presence. I mean, could be Count Dooku's severed head somewhere. I don't know. I just think that could be a really interesting plot line. There's so many ways we could run with this. It's kind of crazy. I mean, the Racket thing, I just interpreting it wrong. Because if you listen closely, Rico gets really defensive about the thing. Maybe I'll go listen to it for a second. When he's like, we can't hold this thing forever. We can't keep this a secret forever. And Rico's like, it's under control, Racket. It's just kind of like, whoa, Rico, yo. And it's going to be kind of like you're going to have to choose Rico or Racket. And I'm like sure 90% of you are going to choose Rico. But, it's interesting. I really like to see how this crazy Rico goes. I did not see it coming, and I thought it was cool. I personally enjoy it. The Sarge thing, I hope that's not too much of a bug, because that could get annoying. Just random Sarge. Like, when he told him to trust Giles, it was like, it's fine. Especially after Mental being alive, it's like, is Sarge alive? What's going on here? I hope it Mental, like, maybe that was just a thing that Flashpoint made up, because I'm kind of like, we need Mental. We already had Rookie. Because that would take away the death of Daily Squad a lot, I guess. I mean, now that we have more members, like Miller and Jackson, which hopefully in next Origins, they don't just take the bucket, if you know what I'm saying. But, yeah. So, that's about it. You can like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I upload double upload Saturdays and once every Sunday. Normally this goes up on Saturday, but I was busy this Saturday. So, yeah. That's about it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.